made waves across the world.
Big Meech snitching exposed. Tammy Cowins, Cuffy Gatling unveils this BMF, whole setup, or what's going on with this whole situation. We really trying to break this situation down, bro. Because many people are saying Big Meech is snitching. How do you feel about the situation? That's the question. How do you feel? This is Uda on Go. This is the Go Network. The people in the chat are the Go Gang. Be a part of the Go Gang. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a like and share this video. Let's get into this audio.
About the subject matter of, because of the 50 Cent controversy, it has thrusted the goings on between Big Meech, Tammy, and Cuffy into the headlines. So I was searching YouTube for other unknowable content, people who I thought had a good take on it or had a good grasp on what was going on. I came across your podcast, brother. It was just by happenstance. I came across your podcast. I seen the hat. I say, this hat. I seen the suspenders. I seen the tie. I said, this brother's serious right here. This is.
One thing I'm not doing, Chris, is I'm not, just speaking off the top of my dome and on my emotions, you know what I'm saying, just to get clicks and have the right title in the description section, you know what I'm saying?
Was it 50 Cent or was it something else?
Through the federal system, and, I was reading it to find out what was really going on, man.
Got you.
And still read it that way.
One of the 50 Cent, were you surprised that 50 Cent attacked this from this angle, or when you first became aware of it, when you saw it on 50's page, were you surprised that 50 would attack Meech in this way?
I was very surprised, man, because I thought Meech was money, man. The way we say it in the feds is,
Got that back.
A nigga money, paperwork straight, paperwork money, nigga money. I wasn't a fan per se of Big Meech or BMF. I dug the song that my man made about him, and he had, he got 30 years fair time, and it seemed like he took it, rubbed it on his chest, and was doing it. So when 50 Cent posted that post, him being a rat, and then all these other dudes is coming out saying the paperwork ain't right, that kind of like made me say, like, yo, Sean, what's up with this, man?
All right, I got you. When 50 Cent, when Rick Ross and Big Meech announced that they were doing a concert in Southern Florida, when you look at the history of 50 Cent, and this is a 50 Cent question first before we get into the actual transcripts, if you don't mind. The one thing we know about 50 is that he's serious about the people who he deal with. He's serious about the perception of people being loyal to him, for better or for worse. We know that he has a tendency and a proclivity towards attacking anything that is associated with people who he does not like. Were you surprised, or did it catch your eye? And if so, were you surprised when Big Meech announced that he was doing a concert in connection or in conjunction with Rick Ross?
No, I thought it was strange, man, that,
Facts.
I ain't got no static with Big Meech. And let me qualify and issue another disclaimer for everybody in Detroit. I did my federal prison time at FCI Morgantown in Morgantown, West Virginia. And Detroit had probably the biggest car on the
I'm going to be having this guy on the channel and shit. We just piling out the schedule of us to have a conversation. Sound like a good brother, though.
compound, along with Flint, Kalamazoo, Saginaw. And I was cool with a lot of niggas out of Detroit. You understand? Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody that could say they did time in Morgantown did not run into dudes from Michigan. So I ain't got no static with Big Meech. I ain't got no static with Cuffy. I ain't got no static with Detroit. I ain't got no static with nobody. I really don't care. When I saw the rappers doing a concert for a nigga getting out of prison for being a big time drug dealer, I thought that was odd, right? But it doesn't surprise me with today's society that
Salute everybody. Salute everybody. Hope y'all all blessed, man. Y'all drop a like for me. More people join us. Late night stream. We're gonna listen to some of this and just see if we can get to the bottom of some of the situation. You know what I mean? Salute to y'all though.
they would do something like that. So that didn't really bother me. The fact that he was with Rick Ross, you know what I'm saying? That didn't ring a bell with me neither, because I don't follow this kind of shit, Chris. Really, this isn't even my lane. My lane is really calisthenics and self-esteem and self-confidence. But when 50 Cent started going at Rick Ross and Meech and caught, then I was like, okay, let me see what's up. Because if my man is really a rap, I want to see which one of these rappers is still gonna get down with him and go and perform at this show.
Right, gotcha. Would it be, so let's just say, I'm gonna throw something out there before we get to the meat and potatoes of this conversation. Because I've come down on this before, and long before the concert was ever announced, the allegations that Meech had worked third party or we call it reindeer games where I'm from, bro. I'm a state baby. I did 17 straight calendars in the state, in Michigan, right, in the MDOC. We call these games reindeer games, and there's nothing new. The fact that somebody would enter into an understanding with the federal government, state, local, federal officials, or law enforcement to help somebody else out, that's nothing new. There's nothing new on the state level or on the fed level. You do have people who work with law enforcement in order to get certain things done, and not just because they are in
Absolutely, 100%.
a situation. So you have people, what do you think about the people? Well, I don't. So you have people who don't understand that people do what Tammy Cowins did, and they are not. Because we're used to people being rats or coming down on the rat side of things because they have found themselves in trouble. And so therefore, they find themselves getting squoze off by law enforcement because they themselves. It is not a common principle for somebody who is not being charged with something, a crime, to just up and decide to John Q. L7 decide they want to tell on some motherfuckers just for the sake of telling on them when they have not been put in harm's way or danger themselves. Can you speak to my audience about the different levels of cooperation that you've seen during your time in
She knew of him and met him.
You don't want to hear his time. We want to get right to the thing, y'all.
Immediately, man. In the motion to suppress, Cuffy filed a motion to suppress the electronic surveillance.
Yeah, they turned all that down.
For the wiretaps, in terms of proving probable cause. Terry White's name is right in there immediately, and I'm like, who's Terry White? And when I read through the case, Tammy Cowins, who is CS1 on all these documents, confidential source 1,
Terry
was involved with Terry White on a sexual level, on a relationship level.
Again with another nigga.
And, jammed him up.
Jammed him up too, bro.
And that was the first case she worked on, and her...
and she got $55,000 for that bust of Terry White, a nigga from Atlanta, with some weed bust, bro. She got $55K for that shit, bro. Facts. And she wasn't even a paid informant at that time. Okay? Frank Harvey, the supervisor at the agent, special agent Frank Harvey, he's the one who pushed her through to get the $55K because she wasn't even a paid informant. But he pushed her to get the award. That's what the informants get. They get awards. You get a portion of the seizure, a percentage of whatever it is. You get a portion.
Reasoning for that was she didn't want to get caught up in a money laundering thing.
Now drop a like for me, y'all.
Salute. He, did that to her
salute.
or whatever. So she says, but she's in it immediately, man.
Somebody drop a like for me, y'all.
Immediately. And that is the case that Jack Harvey, the controlling agent says that she did such a fantastic job that she was actually the heart and soul of that case against Terry White, that they decided to keep her on, and that's when she got in touch with Keith Croman.
So Harvey was the lead investigator.
She didn't get in touch with Keith Cromer. Harvey was the lead investigator, the lead special agent. When he retired, he was her handler. You know what I mean? Just like in Sopranos with Adriana and Chris, and he remember she was talking and the feds keep running up on her in stores and everywhere, and those was her handlers. He was the handler. He was running a strict ship too. I heard the guy Harvey. He was like the older guy. When he retired, he handed her over to to Cromer, and Cromer and her started the sexual affair of whatever they had going on, and they ended up being investigated.
Jack Harvey was the lead investigator in the whole BMF saga in terms of taking BMF down, right?
Is that a statement you're making, or you're asking me?
I'm asking you. Jack Harvey. Okay.
I've heard that. I've heard.
Salute if you dropped the light.
Researched that yet, and I may come to that.
Uh-huh.
I know Jack Harvey from the Terry White case, right? But people have said in the comment section and in other videos that he's actually been the lead agent in the whole BMF joint going years back before Terry White.
Yeah, before they even got indicted, Jack Harvey, according to all the BMF sources I know, was following around. He wasn't even
He was like American Gangster, the guy that Russell Crowe was following Denzel. He was like that back. Was on Meech from Ben. PA boy type stuff. He was Ben on Meech. That's the guy that was like that. So he was older by the time, he ended up retiring and then handed it over to Cromer. And there we go with Cromer and her and all this other shit.
The fact that he was surveilling them, right? And so he's a prominent figure. I think he was, in fact, the lead investigator from the DEA level of looking into or trying to gather information to prosecute BMF from the very beginning, even before he was the lead dog. He was the bird dog on the BMF takedown situation, amongst with other people who we don't know, but we know.
Get the lights up for me. Somebody drop a light.
BMF, he was the bird dog on that BMF case. Tammy Cowins, she met Big Meech in 2002, 2003.
Right.
Did she met him personally, or she became aware of him because she was around the Blue Da Vinci's of the world and they were a part of the whole BMF squad? Or did she have a up close and personal relationship with Meech? Or was it
She
just
was with
because
Blue.
we know BMF ran through bitches.
Everybody ran through it.
Right. So is she claiming to have had an intimate relationship with Meech? Is she claiming to have been friends or acquaintances with Meech? Or how does that go?
Well, to answer your question, I don't know. And right after that, I don't think that matters.
Right.
In terms of Big Meech. The fact that she testified under oath in court documents that she knew of him and met him around 2002, 2003,
right,
is critical.
Critical. Right. And that's the start of it all. And so I feel the same way you feel. How she met him, or the circumstances under which she met him, or who she met him.
She knew him.
She knew him. It was what it was.
She was around, and she knew at that point, because he wasn't busted yet. He was living that life. She knew what he was about.
Right. Absolutely. And it wasn't hard to tell who's at the top of the totem pole. Right. So she knew what it was she was doing.
If you're dealing with Blue, you're dealing with
Meech. I had when the BMF takedown happened, she became a pen pal with several members of BMF, including Big Meech. She pen palled with J-Bo and a couple of other members of BMF who were incarcerated in the Fed joint. So she was just searching for entrance, and she was just, man, listen, Jeffrey Dahmer had pen pals. So it's not surprising that people see infamous figures and notorious figures decide to write them to make their acquaintance. That's nothing new now either. So for people who are trying to chime or come down on that or how that took place or why it happened, really it doesn't matter how it happened or why it happened. What matters is most to me, and my thinking is that she eventually won or gained Big Meech's trust to the point to where she became the contact person for him, not his sister, not his mom, not his baby mama, not some other female he had a decent enough relationship with. It was a female that was connected to one of his main partners in Blue Da Vinci that eventually became his go-to person. If you wanted to talk to Big Meech,
You have to go
even
through
people
her.
in his family, you can get it done faster if you went through Tammy Cowins.
That's crazy. How did she came up that
That's
fast?
an interesting
And
point.
she came up
man.
that
That's
far.
crazy, man.
She went from dealing
Okay,
with Blue
so
You know,
in your,
knowing she
to
turned
dealing
out
with
to be
Meech.
5-0, that's not a good look at all, man.
got you. Blue Da Vinci, I interviewed him last week. He said that
Y'all drop a like for me, y'all. Drop a like for me, y'all. Get the likes up. Let a few more people in here join us. That's it. Let's drop a couple likes. I appreciate y'all.
when he found out that Big Meech had a relationship with Tammy Cowins, pen pal, business relationship, Blue Da Vinci said that he informed Big Meech over the phone that Tammy Cowins was hot and that she had worked in a concerted effort with the DEA to take down Terry White. I have no reason to believe that what Blue Da Vinci said was untrue. Blue Da Vinci also said that when he became aware of everything that was going on, that he presented the information to Big Meech's son, Little Meech, specifically the whole Cuffy situation. I have no reason not to believe him when he says he did that either. He said it publicly. Little Meech never came out and said anything otherwise, that he didn't present the information that his father was in fact working in a third-party cooperative situation to gain his freedom faster than what his sentence dictated. When we talk about Fidel Flores, we know that Big Meech, or that it has been said that Big Meech met Fidel Flores, who was a alleged member of the Mexican drug cartel, that he met him in the St. Clair County jail. And St. Clair County is a county just north, maybe 45 minutes to an hour north of Detroit. As I'm learning more about this situation, I'm asking myself this question. Even though Big Meech wasn't in the St. Clair County jail for drug trafficking at that particular point in time, they knew who he was. At what point do you put a Mexican cartel member in close proximity to a Big Meech? How does that work? In a federal holding facility, nonetheless. They normally keep people who have that kind of magnetism or who are involved in that level of the streets. They normally separate them, especially when they have nothing to do with each other. They don't put them around each other.
If you drop
this Fidel
Flores
is something I want to touch on a little bit later, but he's an innocuous figure. He's a wily coyote. He didn't beat more drug cases than John Gotti.
Appreciate y'all.
Sean G, tell me, you made a post yesterday, and everybody in Detroit grabbed hold to your post, and not everybody, but some of the most prominent figures in the world of rap grabbed what you said when you said that Tammy Cowins, who initially in her affidavit that the federal government used to present to a judge
that she signed under the penalties of perjury.
Right. So in her initial affidavit that she signed under the penalty of perjury, outside of the fact that she was already working in a concerted effort with the federal government to take down drug dealers from the Mexican cartel to just whoever she could find at any particular point in time. Tammy Cowins signed the affidavit.
That's not true.
It's not true. Tell me what's true.
What you just said.
She was trying to take down everything.
She was working for the DEA to take down
everything.
Drug dealers and Mexican cartels or anybody who she could find. She was not doing that.
Because she wasn't giving no information.
That is the interesting.
She got paid for shit that she wasn't even doing.
Point that everybody's missing. That I brought to light today on the video that I just put up on my YouTube
drop a like
channel.
for me, y'all. More people gonna join us.
So,
salute.
After Tammy Cowins did such a splendid job taking down Terry White, Jack Harvey retires in 2011, and on the same day of his retirement, Keith Cromer, Jack Harvey hands her over to Keith Cromer the very same day. And at the very first meeting, Tammy Cowins meeting this dude, he tells her, she says, well, what do you, he says, we want you to come on board and be a full-time informant. And she says, well, what do you want me to do? And he tells her, we want you to work with Hispanics, pick up drugs, pick up money, make phone calls. And when you bust somebody who's Hispanic, you're not going to have to worry about any type of retribution or anything coming back to you, because when we bust them, we're going to deport them, so you ain't going to never have to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, what if I get something real big? And he says, you'll make a lot of money. And then immediately after that, she says, can I get Demetrius Flenory a time cut? And he says right back, this is the first fucking day, the first 8 minutes that they meet this person ever in life. And he says, we can work on that, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what you said that is not true, but I know what you were saying.
Everybody?
During the course of the Cuffy Suarez investigation, they never, she never goes on none of these Hispanic missions. Right? They call her and say, yo, we got something for you tonight. Go pick up this money here. Go drop this drugs over there, make this. But every time she's like, all right, bet. I'm on my way to do it. They say, it fell apart. There was nothing to it. So, to me, that was just the oil in her ear to, you understand, get her to do what they wanted her to do, and what she, you know what I'm saying, with the Cuffy situation. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, she never did any of that. But anytime it was related to Cuffy, she was always
dialed in.
She was always in motion and working. So that's the part that, you know, I wanted to correct. And that's what Cuffy's lawyer, which I put the video up today under her cross-examination of Tammy, she dug right into that. You know,
can you give us some details about during that? It was during the Frank's hearing, or was it during a different hearing?
During the Frank's hearing.
So can you give us a brief recap of what Cuffy's lawyer did to dig into Tammy during that Frank's hearing?
Well,
she drop a light for me, y'all. More people gonna join us.
First of all, she started with Terry White, Cuffy's attorney. Ms. Traub started with Tammy White. Art started with Terry White.
Right.
And she asked her, she says, well, why did you start setting up Terry White? Because you just thought it was the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying? Because he got no compensation for Terry White. There was no money for Terry White. And Jack Harvey mentioned that she was an unusual
case
informant because she didn't have no drug problem. She didn't have no case. She didn't want money. She didn't, you know, she just was doing this. But the question is, why? So she tells Cuffy's attorney, well, I felt guilty about Terry White using my credit cards for me to get money off my credit cards, and I felt I was doing something wrong. So I go to Jack Harvey, right, who's a DEA agent, and I go see him and tell him about the credit card situation. But obviously at this time also she knows Terry is selling drugs or whatever. So
I was wondering if Jack Harvey beat it too. I'm like, I wonder if Jack beat it. Because Jack was the first agent, you know what I'm saying? But then when it all blew up and they went to trial, whatever the case, remember, she was having an affair with Chroma. Jack Harvey ended up coming to court, and he ended up speaking against Keith Chroma. Like, yo, the money's an illicit relationship and shit like that. Like, he was against that. Like, he was speaking against that. Like he was on the side with Keith. So I'm like, maybe Jack Harvey wasn't with the shit like that. And maybe just Keith. No. Maybe she was with all of them, bro. Who knows? She was with Terry,
Basically, what
Blue,
Cuffy's
Meech,
lawyer was trying to say is
Chroma,
that, you know, your motivation to set these people up is based on something else other than money. Because you weren't.
What's good, y'all? Y'all get the likes up. Look at the likes, man. Come on, y'all. Get the likes up. More people gonna join us. It's late night. We rocking out. YouTube streets is quiet. We just vibing out. So salute to all of y'all, man.
What they said you were going to earn money for, they didn't have you doing. So you wasn't working on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for Terry White, you didn't do anything. So what what were you looking for in exchange for putting your life on the line? That's the question.
And that is a $1 million question, because how often do we find people who are willing to engage in something like this, where in which they are putting their lives on the line in order to get the feds what they need to knock somebody down? How often do you find people who are willing to do that when they have no
only for money?
Only for
right. I'm gonna if I'm gonna do that, dog face, which I ain't never ratted. You can check my paperwork. I'm good. But hypothetically speaking, if that was the yo, give me $3 million and I'll do it. Right? Because everything is on the line, right?
Right.
But she's doing this like on the strength. Not that don't sound.
Don't sound right to me. Don't sound. And I've been locked up half my goddamn life, and I ain't never seen a motherfucker just hey.
There's a reason why
right.
that you're doing something to that effect.
There's always a reason. Before every action, a reaction, there's a thought process that goes into play. Whether you want.
And then on her first affidavit, she signs the affidavit from the first initial agreement with the people, the special agents and feds. She knows Meech. She knows Cuffy and Fidel from Meech. She's doing this because she wants to get Meech a time cut. Then she goes against that whole story and say, nah, I ain't know Meech ain't put me on and and flip the whole script. And then don't sign that paper. When she flips the script, she doesn't sign that, because you know perjury is penalty by punishment by law, but you're going to prison. She doesn't sign that. Why don't she sign it? And then when she's in court, she's saying like she's scared for her safety because of some information breach, and she has the whole courtroom cleared when she want to make her testimony. The judge has the courtroom cleared for her. Drop a like, yo. It's just crazy.
And tell it what it is or not, there's always something that precedes to whatever action you do. And that is a mighty, mighty task to undertake. To get into an organization or to get next to people for the sole purposes of telling on them when there's no incentive other than just to do it because you're a Johnny Five. No, that ain't how that shit go.
These people have a propensity to violence.
You
know, why would you do that?
She's a regular person.
And that was the other question that I asked today on my video. Like, you know, Meech wakes up one day and he has a cup of coffee. Says, that tastes good. I just worked out. I had my good breakfast. We had a good breakfast today. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to sign my life rights and my film credits and my power return. I'm just going to give it to you, Tammy. Honestly, you don't owe me nothing.
Why?
Come on, man.
That is crazy that you would say that. It's
Why?
Not. It is.
I've been asking that question for a week.
What I could call a telling and a damning statement, because
your life
you
rights?
have family members that you've known for your entire.
Bro, your life rights, man. When you're born, all you have is two things, man. One, the day you're here, and then anything in between is your life rights. And then when you're dead, you're dead. Your life rights and anything else go to your kids. So, bro, you ain't even thinking about when you're dead. You could just count that out. Bro, all you got is your life rights. What would make you give someone your life rights like that? Just being honest, bro. A person could be having a weapon pointed at your head right now and say, give me your life rights. You will try to beg and all types of stuff. Yo, I'll give you money. I'll give you my girlfriend. Whatever, bro. You don't want to give up your life rights, bro. What makes you want to do that? What makes Keith Cromer go against everything and throw away his whole career for Tammy? What make him do that?
Life. And here you have a woman who you gained a genuine acquaintance with her through a pen pal situation, and you think it wise not to only sign over the rights to your story with BMF and the whole Big Meech thing, but you also give this person power of attorney to act legally in your behalf.
Right, but I wanna, Chris, I wanna strike that pen pal situation, right? Let's not limit it to just that, because the pen pal situation limits it to just Meech's time of incarceration and the paperwork starting in 2009. Remember, right. She knew him since 2002.
Yeah,
right? We don't really know what that situation was, but if she was hanging around that crew, and I don't want to speculate, but I think it's a little more elevated than just
her being
the honey that start writing them, and then they never met her.
The nuances of the situation has to be more complex than just him doing that, because it doesn't make sense.
Has to be
that you, after having started a relationship as a pen pal with somebody, would then entrust that same person who just so happens to be a unpaid to paid federal informant.
Yeah.
What did Meech get back in compensation? If Dogface TV is gonna give power of attorney and his life rights to write a movie on his life to somebody, you gonna be saying, well, yo, what you gonna do for me? Saying anybody. What compensation did Meech get back? That's what everybody's missing. Or they're not missing it, or they refuse to acknowledge because they want to keep a blind eye because they from Detroit and Meech from Detroit.
Basically, you go out and you go do that, and I give you my life rights. He basically leaning towards, you go out and set nigga up, do what the fuck you gotta do out there. Cuffy Gatlings, Fidel Suarez, the Mexican nigga who you can't see yet. He in Mexico probably right now drinking La Maritas right now, because he never did no jail time, bro. The Mexican homie ain't do no jail time. So then we know for a fact Cuffy ain't say shit. Because Cuffy and that nigga was, you know what I mean? They was in a transaction shit. They was the ones that was making the drug deal. Him and Cuffy was supposed to be the ones that's getting set up. The Mexican nigga was arrested without being charged, arrested without conviction or some shit, 2009.
They from Atlanta and Meech from Atlanta. You know, but I'm looking at this from
a purely objective.
Exactly. And this is a businessman. This is a man who's about money.
He's about money.
He knows business. If I give you my and the life thing is rights. This
Meech's life rights, not me and yours.
Today, and I went over this in my video.
Meech life rights.
Cuffy's lawyer. This is where she got to. This is where she. Because there's 4 co-defendants. There's 4 defendants in this case. There's Cuffy and 3 other defendants, and there's 4 attorneys. They each have their own attorney, and I believe that all of the attorneys are going to attack her in different areas, right? Because they don't want one person up there for 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? And Cuffy's attorney, her job, from what I read today, she was just pointing out the things that just don't make sense about what you said your motivation is. And she said that Frank Lucas, an American gangster, could not receive compensation for the film on his life and movie rights because there was heinous acts involved. There were murders involved, right?
That was the play to get his rights?
Conversely, in Meech's case, there was no murders involved. There was no heinous act. So Meech himself could have kept all of his rights, kept his power of attorney, and done his 30 ball, like he was supposed to. And when he got out after the 30 ball, he could have sold his rights himself and kept all the cheese, right? And if you would have got some time cut like you say you did, because of the Trump First Step Act or Obama giving back 2 points or whatever, they rewrote the drug laws, you would have benefited more. You would have got your time cut like you say you did. We haven't seen any paperwork yet.
Make sure everybody smash that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notified button. I'm going to be having some people on the platform. I'm just putting together schedules of different things that I'm going to be doing. We're in the phase 2 of this channel. We're going to start stepping up some stuff around here. So I just want to make sure that you're all notified. So just hit the subscribe button. And if y'all can drop a like, it's going to make some more people join us. And we all going to try to listen because y'all be having good information in the chat, man. Salute to y'all.
Evidencing that that's how you got your time cut. You went from how much time did he actually do, Chris? 19, 20.
I think he did 19, 20 years tops.
Okay, so if you take 20 and divide it by 0.85,
Right.
that takes you back 20 divided by 0.85, which is 85% of the federal prison time. It comes in at 23 and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he went from 30 years to 23 and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's 6.5 years. Why did that come down? Was it for the two? It very well may have been from the Trump First Step Act or them rewriting the drug laws, but where's the paperwork to show that? Why are you not speaking up about that? Oh, I got my time cut. If it's me, oh, y'all saying I got it, yo, I got my time cut because of this, man. Then I went, I got that. I'm especially if I'm Big Meech.
You all over that shit.
I'm iconic. I have the chance to do a movie with Scorsese or Spielberg or whoever. You know, I'm finna clean everything up. Anything that's making me look bad, I'm shooting it in the head. But my man ain't done that, man.
Why do you think he hasn't done it? That is one of the $1 million questions in this whole.
I don't think Meek should have spoke the other day. I don't know. If y'all agree with me, let me know. But I don't think Meek should have spoke the other day, and I don't think he was good. And then you see how they made the joke when the guy was reading the cue cards? Oh, man, that shit was funny as shit, bro. When the nigga was reading the cue cards on Meek, and he was like, he was reading it, oh, boy, that shit was comedy.
Sword in the fair.
Comedy. Bro.
Well, you know, his body language didn't look good to me.
Body language. Listen, let me say this, brother, before you make that point.
He was saying like this.
The people who know him well, they are all talking about body language. And they have tried, some people have tried to attribute it to the fact that he did 20 years in prison, so it changes you. But brother,
his body great, and you did time, Chris. His body language would be even more aggressive.
Even more.
His institution, he would be even more animated.
Absolutely. I came home, my chest out. I've been doing push-ups for 17 years.
Exactly.
Bear crawling.
I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm make all this money. I'm making a comeback. My energy is amped, man. I'm sitting up like a Doberman Pinscher in the front seat.
Exactly. Tammy Cowins, she signed the affidavit in that affidavit. It surfaced during Cuffy Frank's hearing, wherein which inside the affidavit.
That's the Frank's hearing is what I read on my channel. If you go down, you'll see the paperwork read. I read the whole thing. It's 32 pages though. So now we got the Cuffy case. That's 220 pages. Earlier today, I read the OIG investigation. So that's the case of the investigation of Tammy Cowins and Special Agent Keith Cromer. So I read that earlier today. A couple of videos back, I did that. And like a day ago, I did the paperwork read of all of that. So you can just listen and just see for yourself what's going on. Because sometimes people are breaking it down into pieces. And when you get it like that, I understand people want to get their views, but you can't understand the story like that. You got to get like the whole story and just figure the shit out. You feel me?
She stated that Big Meech was involved.
Ain't no question.
With
if y'all need the paperwork too, the Frank's hearing, I'll send it to you if you need it.
With running a drug play between Fidel Suarez and Cuffy. She said that Big Meech the word I'm looking for, that he coordinated it through her. What does it mean when law enforcement finds out that a prisoner is inside of one of their facilities, and it is discovered during a court proceedings that prisoner facilitated a crime? What does that mean in federal language?
Well, he's involved in the conspiracy right there. Once she signed that affidavit, and this is the affidavit.
And she did sign it.
That's the one that she signed under it's a sworn affidavit under the penalties of perjury. She can go to prison. She expressly states that Meech put Suarez in touch with her and Cuffy in touch with her to facilitate the sale of a large amount of cocaine. That being said, implicates Meech in another conspiracy while he's already doing a 30 ball. You know, nobody talks about that part, right? The transaction, the very fact there had to be no drugs, no transaction, the fact that he mentions it and he's got a track record of that, he's supposed to got indicted on that alone.
But he was never. So that makes him an unindicted co-conspirator, and Tammy Cowins worked with the DEA in an attempt to nail Fidel Suarez and Cuffy to the cross.
100%.
100%.
How did Tammy Cowins come to know who Fidel Suarez was, according to your research?
Demetrius Flenory, Demetrius Flenory, Big Meech gave Suarez Tammy's number. That's the only way.
Big Meech met Suarez in prison, in Michigan prison, okay? The first connection that when Tammy met him, she never met him personally and physically. He called and contacted Suarez. I'm talking about the Mexican nigga. He contacted her by phone. So in the paperwork that I read, it shows it. It say toll telephone numbers and analysis shows that he's calling and he's messaging. So every time it says toll analysis, it shows his call. It shows whoever's calling who. It shows the message of what he's messaging. One of the first messages they said here, the first connection he was mentioning, he was calling her to contact her about Meech to see how Meech was doing. This is what Tammy says, right? But one of the first conversations when Suarez hit her, because remember, he ended up from jail. They said the first thing he did, one of the first things Suarez did when he hit her from jail, he sent a picture of himself. Feel me? And he was talking to her, I guess, asking how was Meech. But then, the next thing he says to her is like, yo, I got some pills. Yo, you know somebody gonna move some pills? This is what Suarez messaging her on the phone or whatever. You know somebody gonna move some pills or calling on the phone or whatever the fuck. She in the car at the time with Special Agent Keith Cromer, the nigga that she got caught up in the sexual relationship with. The whole time she was in the car with the nigga. So while he on the phone with her, this is a phone call, because while she on the phone, he's there overhearing it. He's calling from jail. So Cromer like, yo, nah, say yes. Yeah, say yes, you got somebody to move the pills. But in the paperwork, they don't talk too much about the pills. So I guess that's maybe bringing it closer for her to tie in closer to probably put together this drug deal that they're trying to do between Cuffy and him. Feel me?
She could have got his number.
Y'all drop a like for me. More people gonna join us. This is crazy, man.
How else is she gonna get
Let me know if y'all need the paperwork, though.
his number? Big Meech, Demetrius Flenory, gave Dion Gatling Cuffy Tammy Cowins' number.
So the one common, in mathematics, they call that a common denominator, right? We don't care what the numerator is, but that denominator is motherfucking same.
A nucleus, a diameter, something that's in the center of something. You know what I mean? There's many words for that thing. But yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
Because had it not been for Big Meech putting Tammy Cowins into his world as it relates to the game, she would have no inside or intricate knowledge or details about who is doing what, when, where, why, or how, or who he thinks can do or would do something. It had to have come from him. Is that what you're saying?
Tammy Cowins was based in Atlanta. Cuffy is in St. Louis. Fidel Suarez is in California.
By way of Mexico.
Why would Fidel Suarez or Cuffy need Tammy to do a deal if they were going to do a deal? Why would they need her?
Two big dogs. This the big dog. The Mexican, in the paperwork, the Mexican dude is named the source of supply. So you already know. He like, in Snowfall, he the dude that they was going to check in the big crib. What are you talking about, bro? You can't even get around these kind of people like that. Come on, bro. Mexican, please. You can't get around them kind of people. You know that, man. They be on the news. We be looking for them niggas. Be having the mask on them. You be like this. Bro, you can't even find the soldiers.
Number one,
Keep
if
it real.
Fidel is hot or Cuffy is hot, not implying that they are, just hypothetically speaking, and one of them was trying to set up the other one, why would they need Tammy to do that?
Likes up,
If they
y'all.
were
Likes
working on
up.
some time on some shit they got jammed up in. That's two things.
Likes up.
The third thing is, how could Tammy Cowins possibly know in Atlanta what a Mexican from California and a brother from St. Louis are getting ready to do a big drug deal in St. Louis? Those are the three things.
Gotcha. Inside the affidavit, Tammy
can't be
Cowins,
explained.
her sworn testimony that she signed, she says that Big Meech orchestrated or arranged this drug deal between Fidel Castro. So one of the hot button issues.
Yes. They said when Big Meech met Fidel Castro in jail, they got together for monetary gain. That's what it says in the paperwork that I read the other day on my channel. They got together for monetary gain, and Suarez was supposed to be giving him some drugs, and them drugs were supposed to be going to Cuffy. The drugs were supposed to be going to Cuffy. Remember, Meech is in jail. He already got 30 years. He's sentenced this time. He's already sentenced. He got 30. He's doing 30 already. You feel me?
Fidel Suarez.
Excuse me, I keep on saying Castro because you know I'm a Joanne Chesimard. I'm a solid finish the course.
Oh, right.
I'm a BLA supporter, bro. So what does it mean? So Detroit is ablaze with you. They are all in an uproar. We have people who have taken your commentary and have taken your I call it coming down on a particular subject. That means giving your opinion about a particular thing. They've taken Sean G. You are the most important podcaster in the city of Detroit right now. Despite all the work we put in, we have a Northern New Jersey guy come and invade the U.
Shout out to Detroit, man. Shout
out. Sean G, yesterday you came down. This your podcast right now.
The video where I said on the stand, Tammy Cowins expressly states under oath that she asked Keith Cromer for a time cut for Big Meech.
Said we could work on that.
In exchange for becoming an informant, and Keith Cromer told her, we can work on that.
We could work on it.
Right? That is
paperwork.
Not good.
Not
right?
Word of mouth, bro. These ain't word of mouth. What I'm telling you is not word of mouth, what I'm thinking in my head, you know. I'm reading paperwork. It's mad fucking paperwork. It's all in black and white. So what he's talking about is black and white, bro. So whatever we thinking about, it's in the works under federal government. People, agents is going on stands. Keith Cromer went on the stand and said, listen, man, Meech was aware of the plan, and he was aware of the setup of Cuffy and Fidel Suarez. He was aware of it. His only problem with the whole thing is that he don't be named in no paperwork. The man went on the stand and testified on the stand, bro. Perjury in the court of law, you know what that gets you. First of all, he's an agent. He about to lose his job anyway dealing with Shorty. But perjury, most definitely getting you in the building, homeboy. 0 to 60 real quick, homeboy. You're going to jail. He went on the stand and spoke.
And as you've been expressing, we got affidavits with her setting these types of things up, right? Now, this all happens.
Nasty.
She asked for the time cut, and this all happens before the Franks hearing, and the St. Louis DEA starts posting and making publicly available the court documents erroneously and probably not doing it the right way, putting Tammy's name, address, and work in the document posted online. Anybody on the planet can go and see this document, and I think people on Cuffy's side see this and they begin to threaten her life, threaten the life of her daughter, who was 16, and threaten Big Meech. And she panics, right? And you want me to keep going, dog?
Yes, this show.
Go,
this ain't my show no
keep
more.
going,
She
brother.
panics and she calls the DEA agents in St. Louis and say, yo,
It's messed up.
hold on.
It's a problem.
Her people she know, her friends or maybe even family starts calling her saying, yo, you all right? You good? You cool? She like, yeah, everything fine. She goes online on Pacer and sees these documents with her name and everything. She calls the DEA agents out of St. Louis and starts going off on the U.S. attorney for St. Louis saying, yo, y'all got my name in this thing. This ain't supposed to be. And the DA, the assistant U.S. attorney for St. Louis, says the DA did what they supposed to. He's not bending to her. He's, yo, we gonna let it stand. What's out there is out there, and we rocking with that. You deal with what you got to deal with. She then gets on the phone and calls the judge and speaks to a guy there. And then she calls Cuffy's old attorney and starts to say, yo, everything I said in that initial affidavit, all that's lies, all that's bad information.
Question.
Right?
The initial affidavit that she signed, in which she stated that Big Meech is the one who orchestrated or used her to orchestrate the drug deal between Fidel Flores and Cuffy. In that initial affidavit, right? That initial affidavit, what did they do with the affidavit? What was the importance of the affidavit? Did they use that to present to the judge?
Absolutely.
That's how they got
the
the. That's how they got the.
and to follow Cuffy,
And garbage
to
pulls.
put tracking devices on Cuffy, to look through his garbage, trash pulls they call it.
Trash pulls.
Look
GPS
at
locator.
his, tap his phones, tap his computers, whatever they needed to do. That was
So that piece of thing was the evidence that they used. They used what she was saying to get that warrant from the judge. So it's not a warrant. When you're doing the fed shit that they doing, it's not the warrant that we know when we get back and they lock and they come to police, we at the door. That's not the warrant. The warrant that they going to the judge with this affidavit, when they getting a stamp from the judge, they getting a stamp that, look, we about to go investigate them. So now Cuffy's phone become target telephone number 1. Now they get the trash pulls. Now all the shit you see in the movie, they in there, they scheming, they doing all the stuff they doing, tapping your phone, they doing all the shit they doing. Now they got that stamp from the judge to do that. Now she goes against that whole statement when that was the crux of them getting even that. Because they was presenting that this, I could go through the statement, I could go through the paperwork again and show you. That's what they was presenting to the judge. They was like, we like, look, we were trying this, we tried that, but look, it's crazy.
was the intent of that affidavit. And that affidavit that she signed, she was not under the duress that she was under, as I was just speaking to before. She was free and clear, she was calm, and those were the statements that she made.
Got you. So she's under duress after she finds out that documents have been leaked, identifying her as confidential source one.
She's scared to death because people are coming to her house, knocking on her door, calling her phone, calling her at her job, telling her, "You dead, bitch. How does it feel to be a paid informant?" And emailing her, mentioning her daughter, and she knows she's in trouble, right? And that she can't rewind the tape and spackle and tape or use whiteout. What's done is done. Then she dips. She dips to go see Big Meech in Louisiana. She don't get to meet him, but she gets to rap to him on the phone. And this is when he tells her, "I don't want my name caught up in this mess." Right?
What does that mean to you? Because this is what she said happened. This is not some innocuous, undenounced figure. She says that this is what the conversation they had. Why is that?
We know what that do mean. Regardless, if you don't want your name caught in this, that means that you have knowledge of something. Regardless if you're involved in it or not, you have knowledge of it.
Important.
Well,
now drop a like, y'all.
I'm not going to speculate, Chris.
Gotcha.
He has knowledge, though.
You could draw your own inference, and I have my own inference, but I'm not going to speculate. My job is to just
report the facts. Got you.
Responsible journalism. Do I have my opinion? Maybe we could do another show later, and then at the end, after I look at everything, I'll tell you what it is. But I mean,
because this is the whole thing. They're trying to prove if Meech had knowledge of these things. If he really set up Cuffy. Not that he snitched. Meech never snitched. And snitched physically and wrote statements and snitched. He's never snitched. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to say, did you through a third party set these people up? This is what they're trying to prove. This is what they're trying to prove.
Anybody can see you say one thing when you're not under duress. That's a sworn affidavit with penalties of imprisonment for perjury. And then after you are exposed and you speak to my man and he says, "I don't want my name in this," now you come back to the drawing board and you're calling everybody and you handwrite another affidavit. Then you say, "Well, I hand wrote that one.
Don't sign it.
But then I wrote another one because it had typos in it," right?
Right.
But you never sign or send in the second affidavit changing what you wrote in the initial affidavit because you know penalties of perjury it could lead you to imprisonment. Why don't you sign those second affidavits? Why didn't you send them in? And I went through that, and I'm gonna go through that tomorrow. But that's what
she's playing games. That nigga Cuffy got time, bro. So regardless of the fact, bro, she's running around playing games, it's not signing papers. The nigga got 27 and a half or some crazy shit. I think he was caught up into two Skloons was caught up in the case too, though. But I'm just saying, though, this is the whole point of why they started investigating Cuffy and all that, and her trying to set him up. And then what? The evidence is just done and just thrown away, and what? And then one part of the evidence I can show you. In the case, it says it's unable to, like you can see her, like her testimony part. Maybe that's the part where she clears the courtroom. Because it says something about her testimony, and it says it's under seal. It has been under sealed.
Cuffy's lawyer got on her about that today. And the only way that those two handwritten affidavits got in the courtroom is because it was a part of the discovery. Because when she got back and she handwrote it, she started faxing it here, faxing it there, faxing it to the judge, faxing it to Jack Harvey, faxing it to Keith Crummell, faxing it to DEA in St. Louis, faxing it to the judge in St. Louis, faxing it to Cuffy's old attorney, just muddying up the water. But never taking blue ink and signing it. Because now you definitely going to prison because you got two affidavits sworn and signed that say two entirely different things.
So
Right,
something's
and
a
why
lie.
that's important, just
So
for
something's a lie, guaranteed.
just for clarity.
You got two statements saying two different things. And perjury in court is punishable by prison time. The proof's in the pudding right here. You got two statements, bro. You contradicting this whole thing with this statement right here. You must be going to jail.
Purposes is you have an affidavit that you have signed, where in which you are saying that you worked in the concerted effort with Big Meech, who arranged a drug deal between Fidel Suarez and Cuffy. You have knowledge of it. You understand the parameters. You understand everything about it because you were there. On top of the fact that you're already known as a informant for the DEA. So they're working with you hand in hand throughout this whole process.
They know everything.
They know everything. So when they say, well, she recanted her statement, she took it back. She filed another affidavit statement, what she said in the initial affidavit about Big Meech orchestrating this drug deal from behind federal walls. She never submitted or signed or submitted that second affidavit. She did it, I'm going to guess, because she was mad, angry, frustrated, and afraid for her life because it became known that she was, in fact, the person who was CSI1. So what does it mean? So if she had signed the second affidavit and submitted it, what that would have meant is this. It would have meant that Cuffy's legal team would have grabbed hold of that second affidavit, and they would have used the second affidavit to impeach her to disrupt or to destroy the first affidavit, because you have two competing affidavits that are about the same thing where she's saying different things.
The case gets thrown out.
The whole case gets thrown out.
Immediately.
The case has to be thrown out. This was the basis of the whole thing. And now the main CS1, the main confidential source who's doing all the work and doing all this thing supposedly, is changing everything that she's saying in the first statement to some whole other handwritten statement, which she never signs and do nothing with.
And she purchased herself.
And she got Meech's life rights. And she's with 50 right now, about to expose him more. Has she not done enough? Literally? That's crazy.
And she goes to prison.
That's crazy.
The case gets thrown out of me.
And if she was going to expose him, why she ain't been expose him? If he really was part of the deal and he knew. Why she ain't been do that?
She's not the DA's darling anymore because she has done something by signing that second affidavit contradicting what she wrote in the first affidavit. So just so we're clear again for the people in the back to hear it. The first affidavit, she spells out in explicit, intricate detail that Big Meech, Demetrius Flenory, set up and arranged the drug deal from federal prison between Cuffy from St. Louis and Fidel Suarez from California, who is the Mexican drug cartel plug. She hand wrote a second, I don't even want to call it an affidavit, but it could have been, because an affidavit can be handwritten, as long as it's signed and submitted. She hand wrote it, a couple different drafts of it, but she never submitted it. We talked offline about the U.S. attorneys coming down on Atlanta to talk to her about these affidavits. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
When they were preparing for the Franks hearing, they asked her about the affidavits, the second affidavit, And Cuffy's lawyer went into that today, and she never submitted it. So 2 U.S. attorneys from St. Louis fly to Atlanta to meet with her in person, and they ask her about the affidavit, and she says, "I don't even know if I can still find it." So, and then
Still find it?
she finds it, and they tell her they need to submit it. She needs to submit it, but Cuffy's lawyer today, on the stand, made her admit that she never gave it to him, meaning that she never signed it and submitted it.
Meaning that her original affidavit, wherein which she outlines Meech as the principal figure, stands in the court of law, and that affidavit is the affidavit that they use to present to the judge in order to acquire permission from the judge to use electronic surveillance, vis-a-vis, wiretap, trash pools, all that shit, to use that evidence against Cuffy. So the case did not get thrown out.
Nope, they
right?
stung him.
The case proceeds forward, even though it's on shaky ground. Even though the defense, she told Cuffy's first set of lawyers, hey, what I said in the first affidavit, that shit, that wasn't true. There's a lot of misinformation in there. It wasn't true. They were waiting for her to submit that signed rebuttal to what she originally wrote so they could use it to save Cuffy's life. So I have another question for you, Sanji. The case continues, and during the electronic surveillance, the DEA and federal law enforcement, they discover other things that had nothing to do with this drug deal between Suarez and Cuffy. They learn about other things during this whole wiretap thing. They utilize these things to spearhead another case against Cuffy. If she would have signed and submitted the second affidavit that we're talking about here, which would have destroyed the first affidavit.
Make sure y'all all subscribe to the channel. See this dude, Sean G. I had a conversation with him the other day. And I was trying to make him just come and do like a online thing and we could just talk about the case. But he said he wanted to meet me in person. So I'm trying to put it together that me and him can meet and we can probably talk about this case together and probably build on it a little bit. You know what I mean?
All the information
so make sure you subscribe and hit the subscribe and the notification
button. Wiretap and electronic monitoring of
notified. Hit the notification. If you're not subscribed, welcome and subscribe.
Cuffy, it would have all been poisonous fruit, meaning they couldn't have used it for any reason whatsoever. Is that true or not true?
I'm not sure, but that's a great point. Because if they gathered material information about
other crimes,
the homicides, the alleged murders and homicides, while wiretapping Cuffy under the affidavit of Tammy Cowins, right? So, yeah, then everything has to be thrown out, and it puts all of Cuffy's cases in jeopardy. They all get thrown out.
Right. So listen, brother, I have one question, and then I'm going to let you take the floor and close us out. When you came down yesterday and said that Tammy Cowins recanted her statement, or she submitted, where people are assuming that you mean that she submitted another affidavit clearing Big Meech's name, right? When you said that she took her statement back, people have misinterpreted that to mean that you are saying that Tammy Cowins, who they are also saying word ain't no good, but that affidavit was good as a motherfucker that she signed originally. That motherfucker's a bad motherfucker. Right?
That's crazy though.
Because now they're saying her word ain't credible.
Because she ain't no good, but you're gonna say her first word was the truth. That's funny though. That's true too. It's funny. Because she's a liar. We know that. So even the first one, right? But the first one she mentions Meech, though, nigga. It ain't even about mine. Why would you even be mentioning Meech? What? Why would you mention Meech in anything unless it's real? Why? Why would you mention Meech?
Just say, but see, these niggas are playing so many. I call these reindeer
mention
games,
Meech,
bro.
bro.
Because you got niggas saying, well, her credibility ain't no good because they know that 50.
Only if it favors the man they rooting for.
Yeah, they know 50 finna come with that documentary. Say trying to discredit her or her word ain't no good. But they grab a hold of what you said yesterday in Detroit.
That documentary gonna be sick.
And said, well, Sean G said she took back her shit and she cleared Big Meech. Is that true?
No, I don't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I put out a video.
She tried to cover her tracks. Let's say
the
that.
title of the video was Tammy Cowins on the stand changes her testimony and says that Big Meech had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with setting up Cuffy and Suarez, which is actual language in the court documents. It was in no way, shape, or form meant to imply that Meech is solid. This is just an isolated move that she did, as we discussed, under the duress and threat for the safety of her daughter, and they even mentioned in here the safety of Big Meech in prison.
Yeah.
You know,
because if it really got out in the public domain, that Big Meech, if the contents of her original affidavit, where in which she outlined that Big Meech orchestrated the drug deal through her as a proxy between Fidel Suarez and Cuffy, if that got out into the ethos, into the air in the FCI or USP, what would that have meant for Big Meech?
Yeah, that's not that. Yeah, that was.
It's not good.
No. I really don't think. And I don't know. I was at a FCI. I was at a low, and some say it was a camp. You needed camp points to get there, but we wore khakis. They had a shoe. There was 1,300 motherfuckers on the compound. Usually, federal prison camps have 200, 300 people there, but I don't think that Big Meech could have, I don't know, it would have been tough for him to stay on the USP yard.
I got another question for you, brother.
It would have been tough.
Does it matter how tough, how big, how bad, how much money you had prior to coming to prison, right? Does that matter in terms?
Nope, because I heard a random story. Now that everything's coming out with Meech, somebody came out the other day talking about Meech got beat up in prison. I don't know. You got to take it with a grain of salt, man. And they ran out the couple of BMF people he had out the gym in prison. I did a video on it the other day. I don't know. You go watch it. You can see what it's about. Take your time with it. I don't know. Because now everybody got a story now. I don't know. I don't know if it's true.
What can possibly happen to you?
But he said he got the guy
discovered
that will speak that actually did it.
Not at all, because the Detroit niggas,
waiting to hear it.
He would probably be part of the Detroit car, or
he was in the South car. He was in the South car. He was in the Atlanta car for the majority of the time.
So if he was in the Atlanta car, you know, as soon as he stepped on the compound, the Atlanta niggas is gonna step to him and say, "Where that paperwork at? You got 30 days to get it in." This is at a USP. I've never been to a USP, but these are stories I heard. I got videos on my channel that speak to this. And if that paperwork, if the Detroit car, the South car, or whatever car on the USP yard saw that affidavit and that motion to suppress by Cuffy, they're gonna tell him, "Man, you can't stay on this compound. Not with us. You got to go tell the warden."
Yeah, drop a like for me, y'all.
Check it in. You know, you tell the warden you fear for your life.
Appreciate
you can't stay here because they're not gonna allow it. That's why I told Meech in that second video, the third one, I was like, "Yo," and I think this is what prompted him to make his video. I was like, "Yo, you not gonna say nothing, man? Like, you ain't saying nothing in your defense. You understand?"
He shot a commercial for his concert, though, Sean G.
Huh?
That was a commercial. He said, I'm solid, death before his honor, and please come to my concert.
Right, with very little vigor or strength or robustness in his body language. The eye contact wasn't good, and you know the people that are saying his body language and eye contact is acceptable that it wasn't good because he did 20 years in prison. You've never
been in prison, bro.
Because in prison you are the most aggressive that you will ever be in your life because it's constant. You around constant men, right? There are no women. You know, the only relief you getting is if you jerk off yourself. But if you're not jerking off, there's no women. It's constant dudes, right? So it's testosterone and it's constant pressure, tension. So that type of body language was not emblematic of somebody just coming home from the joint. So, right. You know, but to answer your question, you know, it doesn't, you know, Meech is not off the hook. You know, the only way I think that he gets off the hook is he has to hold the press conference and he has to show and prove, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't show and prove, man, your whole legacy is done, man. Your son's legacy, anything about you. Right. This is my opinion.
Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? One last question, brother. Cuffy has the proof that after the Franks hearing, wherein which the affidavit was exposed, wherein which Tammy Cowins
you if you just dropped the like.
Appreciate detail that Demetrius Flenory,
I follow suit. Y'all drop a couple more.
One who orchestrated the drug deal.
Let a couple more people join us. Y'all drop a couple more likes.
Between Fidel Suarez and Cuffy. She was the one who acted as his proxy. Cuffy has proof that he did, in fact, once he learned of this, send correspondence to Meech through certified mail saying, hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but your name is in court documents wherein which this woman or this confidential informant is saying that you orchestrated the play to get me and Flores knocked down. And Big Meech never responded. They have proof that so if that's not true, why would Cuffy's and his attorney send legal correspondence to Meech saying that?
Why would you not respond to your man? If this is your man, y'all was getting money together, why are you these are the but
good questions.
But see, Chris, only you know this, right? Only dudes to dudes, white dudes, Latino dudes, Asian dudes, African dudes, Japanese, Brazil, Czechoslovakia, Poland.
I appreciate
Cambodia.
you if you dropped the like.
Anybody that has gone to prison,
appreciate you,
is looking at
King
this.
James, salute.
At Big Meech like this ain't right and exact, right? And you know, the people that are just YouTube consumers and social media consumers, and this is entertainment for them. They got fake profile names and they hide behind, you know, to them it's okay, right? Because he's their hero or whatever. But the thing is this, when Big Meech lays his head down at night, and I know this for a fact, he don't care about the respect from the dudes commenting with the fake profiles and the people, you know, it matters to him that fed niggas and niggas that did time look at him different because you lose points. You lose points when your paperwork ain't one.
Because we have somebody in the comments, and I'm gonna let you go after this, right? We have somebody in the comments saying that it was 2 affidavits, and the first affidavit she said, Tammy Cowins said that Big Meech orchestrated the play and put the drug deal together, 2 words of proxy. And he's saying that in the second affidavit, she changed her story. The second affidavit is not an affidavit because it's not a legal document because it wasn't filed. It wasn't signed and it wasn't filed. So nobody's putting together a false narrative.
Makes
There
sense.
are not two affidavits.
Makes
The
sense.
letter only becomes an affidavit, the second one, when she signs it and she files it in federal court. Dumbass nigga.
Right.
So there's not two opposing affidavits. There's only one affidavit where she says, we're not lying because the affidavit says that she said.
Right. There are two affidavits.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one that was signed by Tammy Cowins and put on the record and submitted as
Evidence.
Under the penalties of perjury. And the one that she signed, she was of reasonable and prudent mind. The second affidavit that you speak to,
Yeah, she's crazy.
she was under duress, fear for her life, fear for her daughter's life, and fear for Big Meech's safety. She wrote an affidavit, but she never signed it. And so it's not an affidavit in terms of
admissible in court.
Exactly. It became a part of the discovery because she faxed it everywhere. But to counter whoever's saying this, you can't. She could never have submitted two conflicting affidavits saying the exact opposite of what the first one said, because then she perjures herself
and you go to
she
jail.
Goes to prison, and then the entire case
is done.
Falls apart. And as Chris,
but then is the second affidavit even enough to even get the warrant and all the stuff that they got with the testimony? That's a whole nother question. Probably not.
Earlier,
Probably
then
not.
The potential alleged murders and homicides information they got with the wiretaps, everything blows up, and Cuffy goes home that day.
That's probably, I don't know if that's true, if Cuffy goes home that day. Because there's supposed to be two alleged sclooms of two people, supposedly. I don't know if there was witnesses in something or something like that that's attached to something, I think. I think it was two that's associated with it, you know what I mean? Two unaliveds that's associated also with Cuffy thing. So he got 27. I think it was some unaliveds or something that was trying to kind of caught up in it or something too.
That day.
Yeah, bro.
I have one person, he says, but Cuffy told her to get Meech's life rights. Address that because y'all are trying to control the narrative. Cuffy told Tammy to get Meech's life rights long before the indictment hit the ground. He didn't know that she was working. They were working in a concerted effort to get a movie deal.
They was in
for
LA.
Meech. What are you talking about?
They was running around LA. They was with Hammer's brother, MC Hammer's brother, Betrayal. They was running around with him because, you know, he do things in Hollywood and make movies with movies and stuff like that and people out there. He like a little big dog out there. So he was running around with MC Hammer brother, Tammy, Cuffy, MC Hammer brother. They was trying to get this deal, like shop some kind of deal for Meech's life rights. So that's why in the paperwork it says that Tammy said that she has the life rights to Meech, that she can sell, she can do whatever she want to do. It's like it states all the things that she can do with the rights, and she could sell. And she, Tammy, estimates the life rights to be worth $1 million. That's at that time. She was estimating the rights to be worth this, and she had the power to do whatever, sell it, do this, do that, anything she wanted to do. Why the fuck would you get that right? Why would you give her that power? It's a question that everybody ought to ask themselves. It's like, why? Because you wouldn't do that. Not for some chick that your man was busting to. Your little man.
Now I'm for turn the comments off because y'all.
No. Leave them on.
I'm gonna leave them on. Okay, I'll leave them on.
According to what I read today, And according to the cross-examination by Cuffy's attorney, Cuffy's initial mentality when he reached out to Tammy was to get the life rights. It wasn't on drugs, right? It was not about narcotics. He wanted to come up with some money to buy Meech's film rights and his life rights so that he can shop for a movie deal.
Right.
That was his initial reason for contacting Tammy Cowins.
Got you. He says, Dogface, can we address why she ain't get perjury for her testimony on the stand? Because she said it was lies in the affidavit on the stand.
I don't know. She's a witness for the government. Why? I don't know. I don't know. But didn't my man just do that? Didn't Woody?
That's some good hypothesis in there, Spade 9. You say you don't think she knew that she was an informant. She met Meech in 2002. She was working with the DEA, they say from like 2009, if I don't want to stretch it to the end of 2008, but let's just say 2009. She was working, that's I think around the time she bust Terry. She was a unpaid, she wasn't a paid informant at that time. It said that she said that Meech said that he don't want his name in nothing. What about that? What about Shum saying that Meech said that he don't want his name in nothing? Because remember when it came out, like a thing was leaked online and her information and all that. Remember, she wanted to go check Meech, but she didn't get to see him. But she spoke to him. And when she spoke to him not being involved in any paperwork or anything like that was what he said. So then now that's something you have to look into too. And then there's also another thing that Agent Chroma went on the stand. He's an agent anyway. He's Meech. He could do it probably to line him too. But I'm just saying, he went on the stand and said he did know. Meech knows and was aware of this plan to set up Cuffy and Fidel Suarez. And the only thing he had a qualms with or beef with is that his name don't be in no paperwork. The same thing. That's what Agent Chroma said in court on the paperwork. And then also there's another thing. These are the little things I'm telling you that you get to think about when you do your little history too. Because now I see you do your, and we got to think both ways. We got to just be objective and open our minds, right? Listen to what the hell we're hearing. But another thing is this. Yo, Tammy, it's crazy. Cuffy said, besides everything else, Cuffy said that one time, I think this is in like 2013. This is in like 2013. You hear me? 2013. He said Meech was hollering at him and hit him up or some shit. He said Meech put him on to a guy, a Spanish guy, Mexican dude. This ain't Fidel. It's a Mexican dude. He puts him onto the Mexican dude. The Mexican dude comes to meet him. This is what Cuffy's saying from prison. Okay? Recently, what Cuffy's saying. He meets the guy, the Spanish guy. When he get around the Spanish guy, they chilling, whatever. He got a nice car, whatever case. He's a drug dealer, man. He's a rich guy. You know what I mean? He's with Meech, man. He put the first mill in Meech's hand. The fuck? So he got ready. He don't care about money. So look, he got a car, whatever the case may be. I don't know what kind of car it is. So the Spanish guy's around him, and the Spanish guy's like, yo, it's a nice car and stuff. Yo, you pay the cash, or you pay for it all, or some weird shit. He was like, He said, it just rubbed me wrong, bro. He's like, not that I thought he was a police or nothing, but it just rubbed me wrong. And I was like, pfft. And I just And then he said, I just bad back. That was his words, Cuffy. He said, I just bad back off him. I just backed up both of them. I just bad back off him, right? He says now, 5 years later now, remember, I think he got locked in like that thing, whatever. He said 5 years later, this is 2018, he got this in his discovery, okay? In his discovery, this guy right here is in his discovery because he met him. This nigga like an agent or some sort of informant agent, but he says the word agent. But I don't know if he's saying that this guy was an actual agent or this person's just an informant, because he was saying the word informant too, but I just think this person was an informant because he says, this is why I think the person's informant, because it says that in his paperwork, he said, it says that he was introduced to this guy, feel me? The Spanish guy, by a confidential source, okay? So you're like, what do you mean a confidential source? So Cuffy's like, what do you mean a confidential source? I know who introduced me, or at least tried to introduce me to this guy. If in your paperwork, you meet somebody one day in a store or whatever the case, because they told you go meet a guy right there, whatever. And in your paperwork, it says, because you know, a person's an informant, so they don't disclose certain information on informants. But you know who the informant is, because that person is the person, obviously, who linked you with the individual. If you only met one person from one person, and in the paperwork it say confidential source, it's nothing confidential about that. He knows who the hell introduced him to somebody. So if that was the case, then Meech did that, that'd be bad. I'm not saying he did, but that's just what Cuffy said. But if he did that, then that means you sending niggas at niggas too. You know what I mean? So that whole, it's just bad. Let me just let this rock out for the last couple seconds.
Just do that in the YSL crowd with
YSL Woody.
Did he do that?
He has hundreds of hours of tape recordings where he said, this nigga shot this nigga, that nigga to Sean G. Listen, your podcast.
Damn, man, I'll tell you this situation, bro. Yo, Tammy, it's crazy, bro. She did all of that. She flipped. She got paid mad bread she didn't even deserve. Said that they had the relationship, they had the sexual relationship. He said, Cromer denied it vehemently, denied it. Nope, never did it. Yeah, I did go a little far. What he did was a little far. What you did, kiss? Touched her? What? I don't know. What's too far? You feel me? Because you said you ain't clap. And I think you clapped. Period. Allegedly, nigga, in my own head. Bro. I think you clapped it, bro. Why wouldn't you clapped it? You know what I mean? Heard she got the dolphin neck. Allegedly. Allegedly. That's from the Atlanta correspondent. My bad. Heard she had the fucking goat throat. So I ain't mad with her, but I'm mad with her at the same damn time. Straight. Heard she got the motherfucking Tyrannosaurus. Nigga like, word. Straight. She making niggas lose their federal jobs. Nigga, look, you got Meech in a wild one right now. Blue damn near got away with his life, damn near was looking like here. Shit. Because he had her first before everybody else. Blue Da Vinci. That was Beach little man shorty. And he said that was my little girl, man. That was my shorty, bro. But you know how the girls was around us. They would be with me, they would be with you, they'd be with us. You know what I'm saying? Because they was like brothers and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how they was running around. Feel me? So much so that when they was all locked up, the girls were running and going to all of the guys and checking and visiting and da-da-da-da and pen pals and all that with all of them. This is how she probably stepped her game up and jumped from over there to buy Meech. You know what I'm saying? She met Meech, she met Blue first. She was fucking with Blue first. But then, so a girl that was dealing with your little man, that's Meech's young boy, right? No matter how, that's Meech's young boy. So the girl that's dealing with your little man becomes the woman that you give all your life rights to? I don't know, bro. I just think that's crazy. I just don't know how that's possible. How do you give up your life rights? How do you give up your life rights, bro? I still can't understand that, bro. You can't give up your life rights, bro. Nothing will make you give up your life rights, bro. I don't know what part of that y'all don't understand. Nothing in life. Nothing will make you give up your life rights to nobody, bro. Don't care what it is. Don't care what it is. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. And Meech was willing to do that. Meech was willing to do that, bro. Why? That's crazy, man. And Tammy's about to expose Meech. That's what's the wildest part about all that shit, bro. Is she gonna come try to expose Meech? With 52? I don't know why he would do this. Meech, I'm talking about. I don't know why. You supposed to chill, homie. You wild out. You supposed to just chill. Straight. Get this nigga 50 no legs. Leave that nigga alone. Straight. Let me see if I can find one her paper when her shit was sealed. Because it said on the bottom, evidentiary agent target phone. All the start of the evidentiary hearings, Tammy's identity was established on the record in closed court. For Tammy's safety, that portion of the record was sealed, and the court admonished counsel and all of the witnesses to refer to Tammy as CS1 throughout the Franks hearing. So they took her name out. They made a confidential source, number one, right? And this is where she becomes that, right? But it shows that she gets declared and all of that. Let me see what else they showed. I can just grab. This is what I'm saying. See, they said defendants presented testimony of 7 witnesses and documentary evidence regarding the veracity of the statements in the affidavit. The relationship between Tammy and Agent Chroma, payments made to Tammy by or at direction of Agent Chroma, and Tammy's contribution or lack of contribution to the investigations for which Tammy received a form of payment or compensation specifically, in addition to cross-examining the United States witnesses regarding statements in the affidavit. Defendants presented testimony of Agent Chroma and the following former direct reports of Agent Chroma, DEA Atlanta Task Force Officer David Aguilar, TFO Aguilar, and they got a bunch of TFOs. TFOs is the officers, the federal officers. See, even the agents was going against her and all that. See, defendants also presented testimony of DEA Atlanta Special Agent Mara Hewitt, Agent Hewitt, who was the case agent on the investigation on one of these. She was a case agent on an investigation for which Tammy received compensation, but according to Agent Hewitt, provided no known information of value. So these type of things, with these discrepancies, the card that came, they started to dig in and tapping, and that's what had happened. You feel me? You feel me? Agent Chroma initially invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, but subsequently waived his right by providing substantive answers to questions posed by the defense counsel. So at first he was trying to go Fifth Amendment, plead the Fifth, homie. Period. Whatever y'all want to say. But they probably advised him like, bruh, that's not a good look, bro. You trapped him in some... illicit sex affairs and money giving out, looking like y'all splitting bread, or you just giving it for the head? What you giving the bread for? Anyway. So it says, he gave that up. TFO Aguilar and Swoop respectively asserted their Fifth Amendment right against discrimination. See, they ran. Okay, the two of the officers ran. They said they did their Fifth Amendment. They did their Fifth Amendment rights. Yeah, man, Tammy's, yo, bro. See, Tammy first became a confidential informant for DEA Atlanta in 2009 when she provided information in a money laundering case, which resulted in a successful prosecution and conviction of an individual named Terry White. Although Tammy was not initially paid DEA informant, Tammy's controlling agent Harvey put Tammy in for an award that would be a percentage of the value a percentage of the value of property forfeited by White, because the information provided by Tammy was so beneficial that the DEA made seizures from White. After Agent Harvey retired in 2011, okay, remember he said he handed her right off to him. He became her handler. Period. From Harvey, transferred, she worked to him, became a paid. Remember, with Harvey, she was not a paid DEA informant. She worked on the Terry White stuff because she used to deal with Terry White and had a relationship with Terry White as well. So this is another man that she has a relationship with. See what I'm saying? This is a whole nother man that she has a whole nother relationship with. It's crazy, bro. Shut up, Terry. But in 2011, so we know that she said her relationship with Keith Chroma started from what? 2011 and ended in 2012. And I think it went on for about 8 to 12 months. In the paperwork that says that. He was pulling up to the crib. Keith was wilding. He had her going to family cookouts and shit. He had her going on trips with family members. People didn't even know that she was an informant. He had her around family. He had her driving his federal vehicle, his special agent vehicle, a Chevrolet Camaro, issued car, government issued car. Yeah, doing that. Like one day he was drunk. One day he was drunk in the car, and she drove one day, and she said mad days she drove too. You know what I mean? And he also let her drive the car by herself if it seemed fit. Like, yeah, she drove it on occasion by her own self, without him. It's crazy. Mad stuff saying the nigga had her on a trip with family. But then it's a part because I also was reading, remember, because what I was telling you about in the case, like, let me read the part to show you. Like, in the case, I told you there's an OIG and an OPR investigation that was opened up on him because of the relationship. And these are two branches of that investigate, I guess, with these types of situations. And, like, the video before this one or whatever, probably 2 videos or 3, whatever now, but I did it today. That video was the OIG case, the OIG investigation. So I'm I'm comparing the Franks hearing, first of all, not the big old case, because the whole case like 200-some pages. I'm talking about the Franks hearing, which is 32 pages, which I read, and which some of the stuff he's referring to was in the Franks hearing. In that same Franks hearing, and then in between this, I just want to know what Tammy gonna say, yo. For real, son. I just want to know what she gonna say, son, about Meech, bro. Because this alone is wild. But if she confirms some of these things, imagine she comes out and confirms some of this shit, bro. And say, yeah, man, Meech knew that shit, man. That nigga's lying dog. Imagine. Because even if people think she's the lying dog, everybody gonna believe it. Y'all drop a like. Y'all get the likes up for me. Thank you, y'all. Y'all drop a like. Salute to everybody in the building. I don't like them letters coming back to back to back like that. Take your time with them letters. Take your time with that letter, boy. I don't know what that last letter. I don't like one of those letters at a time. When you go past one of those letters, you're going into no man's land. Do not stack those letters. This last thing, do not stack those letters, brother. Because I don't know where you're going with it. Know where your mind's at, brother. That brings back trauma for some people. All them letters right there. But yeah, man. What did she do? She got the life rights. She got all that. But I think 50, you said 50 owned the life rights too? He got something to do with life rights? That's just great. I think 50 owned the life rights too. Beach has said that about that lady. Why the hell would she be trying to come out and expose Beach after she got his rights and all of that shit? Why would she be on the phone trying to expose Beach to 50? Why? Why would she be doing that? All right, brother. I got you, man. Yeah, drop a like, man. Talking is trash. It's all good, man. Yeah, man. I just don't know, man. Meech looked it all sulky. His energy, I appreciate you. Looked it all sulky. You know what I'm saying? His body language wasn't really right. He didn't look confident. That's like if someone was able to do the cue card thing. That was mad funny. If you haven't seen that shit, it was one of the funniest shit in the world. Nah, that shit was funny. That shit was funny. Nah, son. These cue cards? That shit is funny as hell, bro. I swear for God, that shit is funny. Y'all drop a like. Y'all get the like up. Subscription. Papi, subscription. But that's what's going on, bro. Tabby is a wild one, yo. Tabby's wild, bro. Tabby's wild. Straight. She's wild straight. Threw Meech under the bus. Flip the script and threw Meech under the bus. How do you do that, yo? How do you flip the script and throw Meech under the bus, bro? That's crazy. I just think that's so crazy to me, bro. That you flip the script and throw Meech under the bus. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Niggas is crazy, bro. I'm telling you, Tammy, I want to know what the hell Tammy's going to say. That's all I want to know. What is Tammy going to say, yo? Because she can't go back what she said in paperwork. She can't go back what she said in paperwork, bro. So do you just drag Meech down with you? Because we already know what you've done. We already heard some of the stuff that you've said and you've done. So you can't say that you not nothing. You already was working. You was paid. You was this. You was that. You was all that. You was between Cuffy and Suarez and all of that. I don't know how the hell you become motherfucking the closest to the motherfucking plug in motherfucking Tijuana or wherever the hell he in. How the hell you get that close to the damn plug? How do you get that close to the plug, son? Nah, son, I was zoning. Son, I zoned thinking of the Tammy shit, son, and came right back to reality, bro. Because it really got me thinking, bro. Like, what? What could she be wanting to say? She's coming out to expose me. What is she going to say? And do you believe her if she say some wild shit about Meech? That's my question. This is my question, bro. Everybody gonna say depending on what she say. I ain't even gonna ask it. Because that's what everybody gonna say, depending on what she say, so I already know. I already know, because that's what I would say. I'd say the same thing. But anything she says is gonna be crazy, bro. Why is she even speaking? Why did we even hear her voice? At all. We ain't never heard this lady voice. We ain't never heard this lady voice. And all of a sudden, he goes to Rick Ross, or whatever the case may be with Rick Ross. And then she comes out and speaks to 50. And 50 automatically calls him a rat. That means that 50 Ben felt like he was a rat. I don't hear it. Automatically, soon as that happened, 50 flip switched and said, calls him a rat. So why was 50 even dealing with him in the first place if 50 felt he was a rat? 50 felt he was a rat, bro. Soon as he did that, he screech, big screech, and threw the cheese up in the rat, bro. Soon as he did that, he threw up the cheese, the rat, and it went up. But I know that was based upon that's probably based upon a conversation that him and 50 probably had. 50 probably had a conversation before he posted that. I don't know. 50 probably said, fuck that nigga. As soon as he saw that nigga, 50 seemed like one of them very impulsive people, right? As soon as he see, he would have been like, what? It's over. Rat. Cheese. Alicia tirade on your ass, right? Yo, son, y'all niggas don't be knowing, son. You know I ain't slept in 2 days, right? I be up, bro, grinding. Facts, yo. Drop a like, yo. For real. I ain't slept in fucking 2 days. I'm here talking to y'all. The hell? I need to be in a bed somewhere. Drop a like. And voice texting. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, word. Well, oh, shit. And then you just say send? Oh, shit. I never even tried that. That's pretty smart. Word to mommy, that's smart, bro. And then just say send? Oh, that's smart. That's smart, man. Word, these just motherfucking jinkies put me onto a fucking clue. Damn, son, this nigga said, yo, that's good. That was good, bro. I'm most definitely gonna do that. Because I ain't got time to be writing that little ass shit sometimes. It's facts. Word. That's the word, girl. That's the word. What is Tabby gonna say? Let me just see. Let's check this week just in case I would have cleaned up any little extra little video on this real quick. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Let me see. Let me see DC. Word, bro. Let me see what this nigga talking about. Hold up, DC. Because he was the one talking about Meech got beat up in prison. Now Meech got beat up in prison. All the time Meech is a snitch again. They saying now Meech got beat up in prison. But he said he got the guy that told him this. And the guy, like, he's trying to get the guy to speak about it. So I'm like, ooh. Damn, Tammy, bro. Can't believe she exposed me. Big Meech gets knotted up in prison. He was lying. I don't know if he's lying or not. But he said they ran him and some BMF members out the gym. So I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, y'all. Take it with a grain of salt. Till we hear some confirmation stories on these things. So I don't know. I don't know. But I do need everybody to make sure y'all subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're notified. Turn the notification bells on. Y'all can smash that like. You can share the video. Subscribe to both of the channels that's linked to this channel. Comedy on Go and News on Go. Subscribe to both of those channels. Get those channels to 50 for me so I can start going live on them. And I can start doing some different content. Yeah, so I can start spreading out my content. Some content I just be doing things. Different people be wanting me to create different content, y'all. So I try to create different content for y'all, you know what I mean? Hence, a lot of my videos are done because people like you contact me or they leave it in my comments or and they tell me about videos and stuff. So some videos I just do. Some videos I don't know. So that's why I need all of y'all subscribe, tapped in. Subscribe to my Instagram if you want. Leave me a message or something. You can contact me on Insta. You want to get any of these dope hats right here that I be wearing, all coming from New Era. You can most definitely go to Don't Hide the Plug on Instagram. Shoot them a message. Uda sent you. My name is Uda. Uda's the promo code. Get your hat today. If you want to go by creating your own hats, your own merch, your own clothes, creating yours. You got your logo. If you don't got a logo, if you need help with getting your logo and then going about doing that, you can do that too. You can shoot a DM, like I told you. Don't Hide the Plug. You can email. Don't Hide the Plug as well. @gmail.com. Or you can DM Don't Hide the Plug on Instagram. Shoot them a message, Uda. Tell them that you want to, you know what I mean? You want to collaborate. You want to do some business. And not no business that you got to split your money with people. I'm just talking about they got a deal with New Era. And they're outsourcing that to different people like us, like you and me in real time. People that may not have a reach to know about how to go about getting New Era hats and getting your merch and some shit like that. You feel me? Black people with a New Era, with the deal with New Era. And they not keeping it for themselves. They already got their shit popping. They doing their thing, got mad logos. Got mad hats, they doing their own thing. But they're like, yo, fuck it. Who gonna give people an opportunity like that? So you know what? That's what we gonna do. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's just dope. And that's what they doing, bro. Word. So if you got some merch and you trying to merch up, trust me, you should contact them. But if you're gonna get merch, I think you should buy a hat, personally. You know, I bought a hat. I want my box. What? I got my logo. What? But I gotta do? Fuck, I need my box. So I can start selling my shit. Period, bro. And start getting to your bag. Like, that. It ain't about dividing and conquering. It's about us building, bro. You feel me? You help someone to build something. It's like helping yourself to build, bro. It's life. You can't do everything for yourself. Nothing's for ourselves in life. Nothing. Nothing at all. So everything's meant to share, man. Real talk. Anything worth having is worth sharing. Real talk. Some people say, your wife? No, man. No. No, man. I just see somebody saying something like that in my comments, like today, tomorrow, or any day. Just come and say that. It just pops up. And I probably see no comment, but that one comment when it pops up. I just see it in the future coming. So let me just neutralize it before it even comes. But you know, like love, bro. You share love, man. It's worth having love, right? So think on a higher level, on a deeper level. And when posted that video about that stuff, hold on, wait. Let me read this something straight. Hold up, you said what? That's what I'm saying, though, Spade. That's what I'm saying, too, though. And people wasn't making comments and all of that. But no, not just that. Meech just came home, and it wasn't no big thing like that. It was all of this when Meech just came home. I didn't hear this shit, bro. So if y'all was on the internet somewhere, because I know I was, you heard everybody killing Meech like how they doing this right now? Talking about he's a rat, like this? No. Ever since 50 stepped into this thing, this is what made this thing go like this. Period. Because it was big before, right? But I don't even know if it was big. It was big. Pause. But I don't know if the situation was to this gravity right here before, because it was a thing. But this seems like it's a thing now. People is going viral, all types of shit. Niggas ain't got channels. They shit is up. Views is up. All types of shit, bro. Word. This shit got all kinds of people watching these kinds of videos now, bro. So something is shifted, bro. Something is really shifted in this one right here, bro. Real talk. Real talk. Make sure everybody subscription. Subscription. Make sure everybody subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, bro. That shit is crazy, bro. That nigga, yo, son. Yo. Yo, the whole thing though, but no, today I wanted to do a little digging though. I wanted to do some digging on Keith Chroma. So like the last video I had did before, I was doing like more a little bit about Keith Chroma a little bit, but I'm gonna go a little bit not deeper because that's pause. But I'm trying to break down a little bit more with Keith Chroma because I'm trying to understand Keith Chroma and his psyche and his mind. Because he also was on the stand saying that he never had sex with her, but he was doing all these things for this woman. Which I know he has a job to do and I get it, but he's also perjuring himself if that's the case. But when I went through the investigation today, not just from the Franks hearing in the Cuffy case, from his own case of him paying off informants and having illicit relationships with informants. His own case, his own little mini trial shit for his little investigation. So it's not like a case in a trial because he's not arrested. But he is under investigation by a branch that does this, like how police department got the the Internal Affairs Department that handles certain type of stuff. So maybe it's one of those type of things that deal with that on maybe a federal level or maybe above those levels, maybe. Because these are the people that stepped in. OPR stepped in, whoop, and then they was like, yo, we passing everything on the OIG. That's what we doing. So they passed the shit off to OIG. And when they passed the shit off to OIG did their own investigation. That's the investigation I read. And in that shit, it talks about stuff, but yo, in that one, it's not like this paperwork I got right here. Like it's mad stuff blacked out. Like literally blacked out, bro. And you really gotta like piece together that paper. That's a pain. But in that said paperwork, they talks about her driving the car, her going on trips with him, her doing this, her doing that, mad stuff like that. They talk about her going to a crib. They going on a trip one time, and they had he had a friend from college that was with them, and she seen the friend sit on his lap, and she seen him kiss the friend, and this and that. So I'm thinking it's like a woman, but then a little while later, like a little couple lines later, then it's like it shows from this perspective, and it says like a him. And he spent the night. He's like, and no, she didn't spend the night in his room. He never seen them be physical, but he spent the night in his room with him. But then in the guy, I'm like, who's this guy talking about he spent the night in the room with Chroma? The hell going on? They on some Will and Jada, allegedly. So I'm like, they swinging. So I'm like, yo, what the hell going on? Right? I'm like, the fuck? So I'm like, yo, bro, I don't know, bro. Yo, bro. I'm looking like they swinging. I don't know what the hell going on. But then in Keith Chroma's, remember, that's all of the paperwork in the OIG investigation. So, it's going down the pages. So as it get to that part, it's him, the guy, supposedly whoever this guy is, slept in the room, supposedly, whatever. So now as it's breaking down, it goes to his side of the testimony. So, you got CS1. It's because she's CS1 in that and this. She's confidential source 1 in both. That case and this case. Some of the things that happened in that case is why he's going through this case. Because what she was doing with that and all of some other shit. The nigga Keith Chroma, yeah, bro. Keith wild out, bro. Keith wild out, bro. Keith wild out, but that's what you get caught up with that goat throat. Yo, guys. Y'all watch out. Y'all think, I want to throw a goat. You sometimes don't want it, bro. Sometimes stick to your little chicken. Your little chicken head. Chill, bro. That goat throat, change your life, bro. Turn into a zombie, nigga. Facts, homie. Like this. Take my password, baby. Take my credit cards. What you want, my weed? What? What you want? Son, they hire you in a Zoom, son. Zoom. If you was a G, a real G, and you ever got goat throat, homie, you know what it do, homie. You was out there. Shorty said, yo, look, you was by the crib. Like, she's like, didn't I tell you I was at work? You at the crib like this. My bad, I thought you was in the grad. Like, yo, bro, you be popping. Like, yo, I thought you was in the spot, homie. Like, what? Fuck, nigga, you be right there waiting for ass. Like, nigga, you dead ass ain't go home? Nigga be right there waiting till you get off work, nigga. For like 8 hours, nigga. Nigga popped up like 9:30. She left to go to work like 9. You just missed her. Nigga sit his ass right there for that throat goat, nigga. Dumb. Nigga be there like this. Sitting Indian style for that, nigga. You stupid? Don't do that. I'm telling you. And that's the same shit that got Andre 3000 caught up. Not to take away from the story, but that's the same shit that got Andre caught. I'm telling you, I heard the box is fire, though. Eric, I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about a box, but that kiss was for her box. Straight. Erica, she's my baby. Care what nobody told me. And she taking souls, period. And she can have mine when she ready. So when she abduct me, leave me be, y'all. Don't go set up no search party for me, nigga. Leave me abducted when she get the whole of me, nigga. Don't care what you're talking about. But that's the reason why he don't sing no more. She told him, you cannot sing. That nigga said, what? That nigga bought the flute out. You remember Jay said that shit on Against Nas? I bought the flutes this time, nigga. Ooh, ooh, HOVA. Nigga said I bought the flutes this time, Guru. That nigga bought the flutes this time, Guru, son. You heard? Nigga bought the flutes. Yo, Erica Badu took the nigga voice, my nigga, like this. Like Little Mermaid, my nigga. You ever seen the Little Mermaid, nigga? Yo, she took, you remember when the voice was coming out, Little Mermaid, there? Yo, bro. She took the nigga Andre 3000 voice, my nigga. Common had sense. The nigga name was Common Sense. She took the sense from Common. That nigga just a common nigga now. Just Common. Common is just Common. That's how powerful. The box is fire. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying the GOAT. I know she's the GOAT. She's the Billy. She's the Baphomet GOAT. Come on, bro. She's the GOAT of all goats. She's not a little regular goat. Billy Goat Gruff. No, dog. She is that goat. You ever seen a picture of that goat? Yeah, dog. She's the real goat. The real deal Holyfield goat. Okay? Holyfield goat, homie. Good. And Holyfield lost an ear because he didn't want to hear. Learn to listen. Shit is real in the Holyfield. Learn to listen on me. Trust. Yeah, telling you. Don't rush for the goat, man. Don't rush for the goat. But ladies, if you a goat, Tammy, E, Badu, if you a goat, hit me. Any of y'all can hit me. Facts. Tia Kemp, stop. Relax. I'm going to see you when I get back to Miami. Because you was a motherfucking goat. And I already know. So, yeah. Yeah. That's how it's going. And I don't want nobody to tell me about my little 2-night fling with Tia Kemp. So what? Me and her had a 2-night thing, and that's it. And she snatched my soul, and I'm going back for my shit in 6 months to Miami. Period. To go get my soul back, nigga. Period. And this time I'm leaving with my soul, because she got my shit there right now. She snatched my shit. Tia Kemp. TT. On TT. That's what I call her, on TT. Hurricane TT. Hurricane TT. When she come through, it's real. So, yeah, me and Hurricane TT. I'm going to get back with you, TT, in a minute. Don't worry about it, girl. I ain't forget about you. I ain't forget about you, TT. Oh yeah, man. I've been smoking weed all day, man. I've been smoking weed all day, man. All day, man. All day. But I ain't sleep too, so I've been up. I most definitely been up all day, man. Yeah, I've been up all day. Who is? Are you lying? Oh yeah, I gotta go up. Premiering? Ooh. Oh, you be doing that. You most definitely doing that. Yeah, man. Remember, subscribe to all of the things that I told y'all to subscribe to. It's a fact. Subscribe to Comedy on Go. I need y'all all on Comedy on Go at least. Because this is what I'm going to be doing, panels, live shit, boom, 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 and funny shit and all that. I'm going to be more free. I'm going to curse freely. You know what I'm saying? And I just be feeling restricted over here a little bit. So I need y'all assistance. Subscribe here so y'all can be notified. But I need y'all to subscribe to Comedy on Go. That's it. Just Comedy on Go. Y'all just subscribe there. I think I need about 20 more people or so. Once I get those 20, it's over. It's lit. I'm going to go live. I'm going to get the rest of the people. That's it. Start going live. Then I'm going to start sending people from over here, over there. And we're going to be able to cook up, bro. Because I want to talk with some of y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all. This is cool and I like it. But this is not how I do this shit. Like, even when I first started this shit, I do it like this too, though, but I like talking with people, bro. I had mad people on my panel. We chilling, chopping it. 10 motherfuckers, 15 motherfuckers, we chopping it, nigga. Women, men, everything. Baddies, all that. This type bops I'm with. I like baddies, nigga. Straight. All this other dumb shit. But, yeah. Baddies and all that. Facts, bro. Baddies. Okay. Real shit. All that. Dope ass vibe. Women and men. Kicking it. Chopping it. About all kind of topics in life. All right. I like that. That shit is dope. Shit's dope. So all of y'all do what? Subscribe here at the hub. Comedy on Go, y'all. Y'all can click it right now. Y'all can move this down and hit my bio, the button, boop, and you're gonna see Comedy Go right there. You might as well do it right now. Click it right now. Bang, bang, bang. Comedy on Go, and we lit. And I'll be over there too. Ooda, ooda, ooda. I know the vibe.